Chief Chris Butler. Today at 5:38 p.m., police officers were dispatched to 1131 East 11th Street for a suspicious incident. An anonymous caller had placed a call to the police stating that two suspects had pulled up into the yard in a blue car. Then the suspects walked away from the car. When the officers arrived, they looked at the interior of the car and actually saw some damage to the interior, which consisted of some wires hanging around the ignition, which sometimes that can be an indication of auto theft or a stolen car. The officers at that point developed a plan. They backed out of the area, hoping that the suspects would return to the vehicle, and a short time later the suspects did. The officers, as Police Officer Irvin, and I'll give you their names, as Police Officer Irvin pulled into the yard, one of the suspects actually fled. So Officer Irvin got out of his car, chased the suspect, and as he approached the suspect was actually standing behind a barrel, pointing his silver semi-automatic handgun directly at him. So Officer Irvin discharged his service weapon one time at the suspect. It did not hit the suspect. It was a miss. The suspect did not fire. After Officer Irvin fired his service weapon, the suspect immediately threw the gun up in the air as well as his hands and was taken into custody. The second suspect did not run, but he was taken into custody as well. And I'll get you the officer's name. It's going to be Police Officer J.W. Irvin, E-R-V-I-N, and he's a 6-year veteran, and this is his first police shooting. The other officer that was dispatched to the call is Police Officer T.G. Tabbitt. He's a 5-year veteran, and as I said, he did not discharge his firearm. And the call was actually dispatched, if I didn't tell you already, I think I did 5:38 p.m. Shots were fired probably right around the time of 6 p.m.
One
I'll
shot?
take any questions. Yes, one shot.
Chief, a different suspect, another person involved there with the car, or just that one suspect who fled and pointed the gun?
No, it was the two suspects that were originally called in from the anonymous caller, and it was both suspects that were seen at the car when the officers pulled back up.
So both arrested?
They were both taken into custody. It's still early in the investigation. We're trying to determine what charges they may face.
Was the car actually stolen by them, or was it a mistake?
The car was not stolen. Like I said, we're still early in the investigation, so I don't have more information.
Fair to say then that the owner of the vehicle is not the person that called in. I know you said it's anonymous, but
Yes,
you
that's
traced
correct.
that practically.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's somebody that lives in the neighborhood here that saw it. And as I said, the officers, when they got here, in addition to seeing that, if I didn't mention already, they actually went around to the neighborhood and knocked on the neighbor's door to confirm that the vehicle did not belong there.
Any other questions?
Any idea what they were doing there and why the car was there, and did they cause the damage to the car?
I don't have that information right now.
Okay.
Other than running, if that gentleman hadn't shown a firearm, did these guys do anything wrong? It sounds like that's part of your investigation.
Yeah,
right?
that's part of the investigation. Of course, anytime you flee from the police officers, you're always subject to arrest for resisting. So, like I said, there's a potential for, obviously, whenever you have a suspect point a handgun at a police officer, I anticipate charges to be filed against at least one suspect, if not both.
Was the gun loaded?
I don't know yet.
How far was that barrel? How far did he run? How far was that from the actual scene where the car was?
I haven't been in the actual scene because they're still processing it. I'd say maybe 20 feet or so away from, well, maybe 20 to 30 feet from where the officer parked his car.
And you have a couple of blocks closed off right now. Where was this house and where was that scene?
Behind me, which would be directly, I guess, to my east. Yeah, on East 11th Street. It's probably halfway down the block on the north side of the road.
Chief, were there more than just this one cruiser, these two officers here?
Initially, it was just the two officers that were dispatched to the call.
And they were in full uniform, correct?
Yes, they were driving marked patrol cars and in police uniform like I'm attired tonight.
Any other questions?
You
All right.
spoke to the owner of the vehicle.
Yes.
Okay. Does she know them?
I don't know all the details of the conversation that they had with the owner of the vehicle. Any further information that we have, we'll release it through a police information officer to you.
And they're on administrative leave, paid administrative leave?
No, we don't always. That's one of those things that we do. We do have officers that are trained in critical incidents, and they actually respond out here and speak to the officers. But they're not placed on. Officer Irvin will not be placed on administrative leave. Typically, whenever we have the shoot hits, they're automatically placed on administrative leave. This is one of those judgment calls that we make.
Because they're not there. Could you spell Tabbitt's name for us?
Yes, it's T-A-B-E-T.
All right. Thanks, Chief.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.